Alright, I just need to go on a rant about shoes and how I hate the shoe industry these days. Keeping in mind I'm super tired, I've got a bit of a headache, probably developing a migraine, I don't know. It's actually the 11th of November that I'm filming this. I have just posted the book review video, so this will come out in a day or two, probably when I've made a decision on what I'm gonna do. But so, this is my current shoe. Yes, I have put a little wing on it. Cute. It's falling apart. Oh well. It was made from offcuts, so I don't feel too bad about that. But like, can we stop using pleather as well? Like, just in fashion? It's horrible. It doesn't last. We're worried about microplastics, and so we're banning, straws and soy sauce fish. But we're not doing anything about this obvious microplastic hazard. Are you kidding me? Anyway, rant aside, these are the Gel-Kayano 28s from Asics. Gel-Kayano used to be my shoe. Like 100% my shoe. The first time I got one, it was so comfy that the next time I needed a shoe, I just walked into a shoe shop, pointed at them, and was like, I want to get these again. And they got me the latest model, and it was amazing. And those shoes were great. This is the first shoe that I had doubts about, the 28s. I can't remember which model I had before them, but it was probably a few years before I finally decided I needed these. Anyway, what's wrong with these? Do you see how they're not like a normal sports shoe? I don't know, runners, joggers, sand shoes, whatever you want to call them. Do you see how they don't look like the old school, regular sports shoe? They had to make them sleek. And that was my first sign where I'm like, oh my god, they're starting to go fashion. Like, even these lines are sleek. They used to be like, like fabric stitched in and all that, but now it's just like this thing. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, I don't have the old examples because they're all thrown in the bin. Like, one time I bought some Kayanos, I was so confident that I let the guy throw out my old shitty shoes. Like, I actually handed them over in the store so that I wouldn't be able to hoard them because I was so sure about how good those shoes were. But this is the first time I had doubts because you can see they were starting to go for the fashion, and I'm like, but it still felt good on the inside. It still felt the same. So I'm like, okay, and it's all black. That suits me. I can deal with it. Eventually put a little wing on it, made it a little bit more interesting. But yeah, my godmother informed me that this state is not ideal. I mean, I performed in them. They're fine. They suited me fine. But yeah, was my birthday, and we've gone on a belated birthday shopping trip, and she had a coupon or voucher. Voucher? Hi, if you're watching. It's just like, so now we've got the Gel-Kayano 32s, and you see they've gone for the sleek thing again. Now I think these are actually half a size too small. I felt a bit rushed in the shop. I think the guy was tired of me trying on different shoes, because I think like we're trying to look at the size in here and it's super worn out. And like you can just make out a thing that says, well, it seems to say 39, or maybe in the other one, yeah, it seems to say 39. And at first we thought that was the euros, but that's actually not the euros. It's like it starts with a B. I don't know if it's like a British, here's the fucking box. I don't know if it's like a British measurement or what. BR. And so originally I tried on EU 39.5, I think, and they were just instantly too small, even on my smaller foot. But yeah, no, when I looked at them, like, actually the euro was above that, and I remember it being around 41 because I've bought other shoes that were 41 and were fine, like goth boots. Although some brands, they were a little bit big and I have to put insoles in, but then the insoles actually improve them. I know I haven't posted all my goth unboxings that would tell you that. Anyway, you can also vaguely see UK 7.5 on these, but yeah, no one really believed me that it was BR and not EU that we were looking at. Now I just showed you the measurements of these ones, and you can see they're half a size smaller than these. And he did briefly give me some bigger ones, like as we were leaving. I was like, I just want to check, but I didn't actually check to make sure that they were actually a half size bigger, or if he gave me a whole size bigger, because like I had to tighten them so much that you could see everything bunching together. And I'm just like, in hindsight, was it actually the right size that I asked for, or was he just giving me an even bigger pair to get rid of me? I don't know. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. And he also did measure my feet, but he didn't tell me what my size on the little shoe thing said. He just confirmed that my right foot was bigger than my left foot. So, like, in hindsight, I'm a bit like, and, you know, after trying them on, he didn't do that thing that a lot of these shoe people do and actually check where my toe is. But anyway, so, you know, I guess that's a disclaimer. I do think this is a half size too small, but potentially the next size up is too wide for me, which has never been a problem before. I mean, you know, like, I laced that up a lot? I don't know, and I have trouble with, I think I probably pull the tongues back more than most people. I don't know. So there's that. And so my toe on this one, on my right foot, which is bigger, it does touch the top, not the end, but the top, and it's like uncomfortable. So yeah, I think it's slightly too small. But now that I've had a few days to try it, and I've been so careful to keep it in pristine condition so that we can take it back if needed, that is what I'm still trying to decide, is like, should I get rid of them, take them back, get a refund, and I don't know, find something else. Although I don't know if I'm going to be able to find another shoe, because like, what's the real problem with this? Even if I got the next half size up, it's this sole. It's this rocker sole. When did this become a fashion trend? Why can't we just have a normal, you know, normal padding instead of this thing that is like trying to, like, can you see how it's kind of, I mean, oh, can we back to back it? It's really hard to show on the camera because I should have gotten like something flat to show you, but like, it's actually like taller. Even if you ignore this thing, like, it's actually a fair bit taller than my old shoe, and so it's like got this platform thing going on. And if I'm gonna wear a platform shoe, it's gonna be a goth one. Like, the whole point of getting these shoes for me is to be my safe shoe. Because you know, I've got these slip-ons that I wore in Japan and was fine when I was walking all around Tokyo for hours, but I don't know, I'm older and creakier than I used to be, so when I used to walk Hope, it was fine. I could just slip those on, nice lazy shoe. Around the house I wear Ugg boots, so, you know, can I be bothered to do laces? Not really. But when I got Triton and started walking him for an hour instead of 15 minutes, and sometimes we go down steep hills and then back up them, and, you know, it's a bit more full-on walking, I actually started to get plantar fasciitis, and so that's why I started wearing my safe shoe a lot more, because I needed a little bit of extra support. Like, I think the slip-on ones, they're a bit more flat. Where are they? I still have them. They're around. I hardly wear them now, because like maybe if I'm just doing a quick trip up to the shops, like, you can see there's not much going on there. So yeah, I started wearing these more, and I mean, my doctor gave me exercises to fix the plantar fasciitis, but they're really annoying to do. Like, my brain is so bored by the exercise that I just struggle. So in the end, wearing these shoes instead fixed the plantar fasciitis for me, and I didn't have it that bad. It's just like, yeah, my feet were crying out for help, and these ones fixed it. So, of course, I want to stick with the same shoe, but they've ruined it. I mean, I don't know how much you can see, because, like, how much, so, like, on this one, see this bit? That is just decorative, and where the actual sole is, like, this part, not this part. On this one, that thing is actually, like, pretty close to where the actual, like, bottom of your foot is. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you'd think it would be here, but no, it's all the way up here, and it's just like, really, why would you do that? And as soon as you put them on, you know, slightly small size aside, because I think I put my left one on first. My left foot is a little bit smaller, so I didn't notice at first, but what you do notice is, like, the way these things move. The moment you put your toe down, it just, like, suddenly moves you forward, and, like, the guys explain, yeah, it's a rocker shoe, it's meant to do that and move you forward, because some Nike dude wearing one won something or set some record, and all the big running shoes started doing it, and then it's filtered down to the rest of us, and I'm just like, cool, but what if I just want a normal shoe? I'm not running any races. I'm not even running at all, except for the bus, and yeah, and then he's like, no, they all have this now. Like, you can't find Maybe I need to go to another shop, but that particular shop had nothing but rockers, and the other ones were like, I did try on a few others just to see if they were any good, but like these are the only ones that like for my feet. I have long, narrow feet. It's really annoying. It's been a problem my whole life trying to find shoes that actually fit my feet. And I thought maybe I need to go to Japan, but then when you think about it, Japanese feet are small, even if they're narrow. So good luck to me finding anything there either. It's just like they shoes have been ruined for me by fashion because they think that we want this rocker shoe. And I was just doing a quick Google and trying to find like there's such a small number of brands that and models of shoe that don't have this ridiculous bullshit going on. I'm if I decide to take these back, like I need to wear them one more time, but if I decide to take them back, I'm just gonna have to make the most of these shoes until they literally fall apart at this point. And from there, I don't know, maybe I just have to toughen up my feet and wear goth shoes because if the manufacturers are gonna make me wear these uncomfortable things, I like what else am I supposed to do? I might as well wear the shoes that look more interesting to me instead of these things that don't they're not safe shoes anymore. And yeah, so the other thing is like because it curves up like that, I thought, trying on the bigger pair that he said were a half size bigger than this, but that I didn't check, and so maybe they weren't. But trying them on, like, they were too wide. And so I thought, okay, maybe, because, they're supposed to be the same size as these, so maybe over the past 4 years, because I think it's 4 models, and they usually do one a year, right? Is that how it works? Maybe in the past 4 years the sizing has slightly changed. So then I'm going around with my little tape measure trying to shove it in there, trying to find out like what is the actual internal measurements of both. And it's really hard to get it accurate. So, last night I was like, oh, maybe they are kind of the same on the inside. But I think because of the way this curves up, that might be sending my toe up more so that it actually hits the top, whereas on these it doesn't. I mean, you can kind of see there's a little bit of warping, so maybe like over time my toe has changed the shape even on my smaller foot, but there's also just so much more room in this toe area for my feet, for my toes to like have some space. And if you consider that I'm wearing UGG boots most of the time where there's heaps of room, yeah, my toes are just used to having more space. And like, if you watch like those funny like toe shoe people, there's a few on YouTube I watched a long time ago, but they love those shoes that are like shaped like toes. But they have a point because like that's the natural shape that your toes want to be in. And when you've got like your little stiletto or like funny high heels that try and get a point right in the middle, like that's not the shape of a natural foot, right? And like when I'm looking at these, yes, keeping in mind that this one is a little bit smaller, like half size smaller than this, but I feel like the design of the toe box is slightly narrower in that area. So like I need narrow up here. I don't need narrow down here. I know it's so hard black on black. Does that look like it's slightly smaller, like thinner than that one, and that it's maybe more of a design thing and not necessarily being a half size smaller? I'm not sure, but last night I wore them for like half an hour, I think, maybe longer. And then earlier today I also, while Triton was away, because I haven't been wearing them around him just to like really be safe and keep these in good condition. Yeah, last night wore them for about half hour and tried to do some of my stretches in them. Few problems. I think because of like the fact that they're this crazy platform and maybe something else about the shaping, I found it really hard to balance like sideways with my legs apart doing stretches. And then I was reading just now, like, yeah, no, it's better for forward movement, not side to side movement, and you can injure yourself doing side to side movement. I'm like, and this is meant to be my safe shoe? Are you kidding me? What kind of design bullshit is that? So, like, I can't do that in these shoes. And, yeah, and, like, what's really weird is, like, when you first put them on, they seem okay, but after wearing them for a while, that's when you start feeling the pressure more on the toe and also on the sides a bit. And yeah, when I thought, oh, maybe they're okay, maybe I can handle them, maybe I'll get used to them. But then I woke up this morning and my big toe on my bigger foot was sore, and yeah, that took a while. I mean, I did trim my nails. Was it yesterday or was it this morning? Time is what is time? I can't remember. The days are so long, I can't remember what I did on what day. But yeah, even trimming my toenails hasn't really helped, because like when I wore them later today, definitely had my nails trimmed by then. And it's not like there was that much, but I thought maybe if I trim them, it'll help. No, like when I first put them on earlier today, seemed fine, but then I didn't even do like exercisey things. I sort of just was walking around and sitting with them. And as the time goes on, I can feel the pressure building. So like first goes on seems okay, but no, after a while it hurts. And I'm going for hour-long walks with the dog. I can't have a shoe that feels worse and worse the longer you wear it. And when I did take it off today, I noticed, apart from my toes starting to feel the pressure, on the outside side of my foot, there was a bit of a red mark. And also up here, I don't know, have they changed that profile as well? Or is it just that it's a new stiff shoe? I'm not really sure. But yeah, no, I never used to have that problem with Gel-Kayanos. That's why I kept going back to them. They would always be the perfect feeling shoe the moment I put my foot in a new one. Even these ones that were starting to show signs of a decay into fashion trends, put them on, didn't need to break them in, they were just perfect for my foot. But this one, keeping in mind that it might be half size too small. But yeah, this one, around here was hurting and around here was hurting. And then even when I was like walking around in them, I feel like they slip around a bit, which doesn't make sense if they're too small. That's one of the weirder things. Like, if it's too small for me, why isn't it just staying put? Why do I feel like it's slipping around? Is it because of this rocker thing that is just destabilizing the way that I walk? I don't know. So, just some rants about that. Like, I fucking hate mainstream fashion. Why can't there be options for those of us who were perfectly happy with how things used to be? It's like the way that tech companies work as well. They'll just change a bunch of stuff and expect us to be okay with it. Like the Bureau of Meteorology. The bomb. I'm not gonna call you the Bureau. Are you kidding? You're the bomb. We're Aussies. We don't care for that kind of garbage, you know. They changed their website and it's like, it's so badly designed and you want to try and find things quickly and now it takes extra clicks, whereas on the old website, which you can still find at reg.bom.gov.au, you can still find the old website, thank God, at least for now. But yeah, the old one's so much easier to use and everything looks right. And I don't think it's just like a cosmetic change. Like when Facebook has done cosmetic changes, it's sort of been like, oh, I hate the bubbly look that we have now. I like the old school square look. Fashion trends, ugh. But yeah, no, I mean, Facebook has gone on to make other changes that are increasingly breaking the website. But in terms of like visual stuff, the bomb website is not just a visual change. They have buggered it up. And it's like, what? Patreon changed their logo from a really clever coin slot P into amorphous blob. And they think that's an improvement. And these guys think this is an improvement and they're gonna sell more. No, if you just kept making the same shoe that a lot of us loved, I would buy it immediately. But you had to go and fuck with some fundamentals. Like, that's what really pisses me off. The fundamentals, at least up to this shoe, this is my last Gel-Kayano, the fundamentals, like the outside cosmetically, okay, fine, it's changed, but the fundamentals were always there. It was perfectly comfortable. But then this, even if I go up a size and it's like this weird rocking thing and like the stability this way is crap, why do you have to mess with the fundamentals? Make your cosmetic external changes. I don't care. Even if it's not a fully black shoe, I used to have different colored shoes. It's fine. It's fine as long as it's comfy. But no, you have to mess with the fundamentals. And now, where am I going to get because like I tried the Hokas, and I tried a Brooks. I had Brooks when I was younger. I think I did, or maybe it was mum. Anyway, whatever. Like I've had on the shoes in the past. I tried them and they're just like stiff and they just have pieces in the wrong places for my foot. Like when I tried on the size that was supposed to be the same as this size, like the next size up, the half size up from this, and it seems so like, I had to really tighten things up quite extremely. The guy's like, oh yeah, because people are getting bigger. In other words, people are getting overweight. And so, like, what are they trying to fuck with the width of it now? Why not just make different shoe instead of fucking with the sizes? Because I need a narrow shoe, but not like super narrow. I think there's a narrow edition that has a white sole I looked up. I don't know how narrow they mean by that, but like, it was working for me, and now where am I gonna get a decent shoe to walk in? It frustrates me. Why couldn't you just leave it how it was? Are people really, really just gonna stop buying your shoe because you didn't go with the rocker thing? Like, there are people looking up, where do I find a shoe that isn't a rocker? That tells you that not all of us are into this trend. God, I'm going to have to wait until they get over it and go back to a more sensible shoe. Or, I don't know, does anyone make just like a good walking shoe? I don't need a running shoe, I just need a walking shoe. I need a shoe like this because, like, the thing is, okay, so mostly I'm walking my dog, so like, yeah, mostly walking, but I performed in these shoes because they're my safe shoes. I don't want to like trip over myself, and like, at the stage that I am, I don't go out enough to get enough practice walking in my boots, and I've been a bit lazy. I've been so tired. I haven't had a chance to like really get used to all the different boots that I've bought, and also ones that I got for free. I haven't had time to like really learn to do stage things. In my stage show, once I finally get around to uploading it, you'll see I'm running around the place, I'm doing dance moves. I need to have that side to side stability. I can't just have forward back stability or like forward back propulsion or whatever they're trying to achieve. It's not working for me when this thing is so hard to, like, I can't even do my stretches in it properly to get a proper stretch in my legs when I'm wearing them. Gee, I think I'm gonna have to take those back, because after going on this rant, it's clear that they're not the shoe for me, which is a shame, because like, my godmother was so patient with me, but like, I have a long history of being impossible to buy shoes for. Like, when I was a kid and we had to buy school shoes, and school shoes are like those horrible black leather things, and it takes ages to break them in, and you have blisters for ages, and so, like, and it was just impossible to find shoes for my narrow feet. So we would spend hours at Clark's trying on shoes when I was a kid with my parents. Like, it was that bad, because none of them felt right, and it would take forever to find a model that I could tolerate. And now they've just gone and ruined these shoes too. And like, what? Because I'm not putting on weight, I'm not allowed to have a shoe that fits me, but also, like, because I'm not into this running stuff and because I have other requirements, I'm not allowed to have a decent shoe anymore. Like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, and like, so if I can't find a new safe shoe and these fall apart, I really will just have to wear more goth boots again. When I first started doing goth stuff, and actually my godmother, I think, bought me my first pair of real boots. I still have them somewhere because they're leather. They didn't fall apart, but they did get a bit stiff because I stopped wearing them. No, I should probably, like, my Killstar, the cat boots, once I put insoles in them, they're actually quite comfortable because I got decent gel insoles. And then there are a few other shoes that I have that I need to put insoles in, because even though, like, EU41, I think I'm more of a 40.5. These are 40.5, but the next size up is a 41.5. So in these, I'm probably would need like a 41, which doesn't exist. Maybe that's the other problem. But I'm a 41.5 in that. I don't know, some of the shoes, like, they're variable, and yeah, no, some of the goth ones are just a little bit too big, so I'm gonna have to put in insoles. But like, actually, with those goth shoes, they don't really think about the padding, so putting in a decent gel insole, it makes such a difference to the wearability, which I just had no idea in the past. So yeah, I need to do that, and then maybe I just get used to wearing those. Maybe I just, if I would have to condition my feet to wear this anyway, why wouldn't I do it with shoes that I find more aesthetically pleasing and that fit this? Now that I'm committed to doing this again for as long as I can tolerate until my next Britney Spears moment. Yeah, I'm just, because I don't want those toe shoes. And actually, I was talking to someone today who has them and thinks they're great, but his feet are, sort of wider. So, like, do they even make those toe shoes in my size? I don't know. Does anyone make shoes in my long, narrow size? I don't know. What do I have to do? Like, commission someone to. I've got to win the lottery and commission someone to make me a decent pair of leather shoes with the right amount of padding and that, don't require me to, band aid over blisters for a couple of months. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's so frustrating. I'm quite unhappy with the state of shoes these days because I thought I had found my forever model of shoe, and then they went and fucked it up. It's just such a shame. Anyway, I gotta get to bed. That's my rant. And if anyone does know a shoe that is like the old Gel-Kayanos, like 28 is the last one that I know I liked. If anyone knows of a shoe that does basically the same thing as this, feels the same size, basically is these shoes, but available now, please let me know. Please give me some recommendations and where the fuck I can find some in Sydney. I can't buy shoes. I can't buy my safe shoes online. That's the other thing about the toe shoes. He's like, oh, you can just get them online. I'm like, no, these have to be my safe shoes, which means I have to try them on. If I'm buying goth shoes, I accept that they're not going to be a perfect fit because they're for aesthetics. They're not, some, like, the boxes, the Demonia boxes, they feel really nice just right from the start. Like the men's size 8 fits me pretty well right from the get-go, especially my old boxer 200s. The newer boxes I haven't worn as much. I don't think they're quite as comfortable as the old ones, but they're the best ones that I've got like in the past few years. But otherwise, yeah, they don't quite, they're not quite friends with my foot in the same way that these were. But yeah, I accept that about goth boots. They're for aesthetics. But like this is meant to be, if I want to have my safe shoe, I need to try it on person, especially because these shoes are not cheap. And they get more expensive every damn year. But yeah, no, if it's going to be my safe shoe, I need to be able to try it on in person to know for sure. I'm not going to do this back and forward, sending them back and forward, getting refunds, getting a new pair sent out. Like, I can't do that for my safe shoe. I need to be able to go and try them on in Sydney. Preferably not too far away from, Sydney's a big city. But, yeah, I mean, there is another shop locally that I could try, which I think is where I got these last time, because Dad had a coupon. I think he had a coupon, not a voucher. What even? Anyway. Yeah, I think I got these in locally, and they had that like machine that you walk on that tells you what shoes to get, and I scored these shoes. Like it said, stay with these shoes. Maybe I need to go there, and maybe their machine will tell me what replaces these properly instead of this rocker bullshit. But I might just like pop my head in and be like, hey, do you guys sell any shoes that don't have a rocker? Why would they do this to me? Fucking consumerism, capitalism, except like capitalism where they try and tell us what we want instead of thinking, gee, maybe someone wants to buy a different kind of normal shoe. Serenity now, insanity later. What am I kidding? Insanity all the time.